friend Funky Frogbait won it and gifted it to me because they knew I wanted this one specifically and I am a child. But anyway, moving on. Hello, my name is Stanzi Potenza. Welcome back, and also welcome to all of the haters and losers who want me dead, quite frankly. It's sad, really. But no, I'm sure there are some people who are actually hate watching this right now, which is fine, okay? It pays to be loathed. This is something that I've thought about talking about for a long time, but I wasn't really sure how to go about it, and recently I've talked to a lot more creators about like accountability culture on the internet, because a lot of other creators have dealt with like cancellation in varying degrees, and they too have wanted to talk about it but have hesitated because of how intense people can be online. I've been thinking about this a lot over the past 2 years, but even more so recently after the smear campaign against Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, who was being accused of using a shock collar on his dog Kaya in one of his Twitch streams. The video was clipped and started making its rounds on the internet and was being pushed by some of Hassan's biggest haters like Ethan Klein, XQC, Laura Loomer, Laura Loomer, and it was also being pushed by creators on the left who were calling him a deplorable animal abuser. Hassan addressed this almost immediately, saying that no, he didn't shock her, and she yelped on stream because she clipped her dew paw when she was getting back on her bed. However, this did not stop creators from hopping on the hate train and making more and more videos about him and straight up ignoring his response, saying that he was just lying, despite the video evidence that can be viewed when you allow your eyeballs to view the screen in front of you by opening your eyelids. Allow me to demonstrate for you. Some have suggested he altered the collar. Some have suggested he got an overnight delivery for a new non-shock collar. And even if they acknowledged it wasn't a shock collar, they moved the goalpost, saying, well, he should have been nicer to her. He shouldn't have been yelling at her on stream. And why is he making her sit there for 8 hours a day? And much like the song Dynamite by Tayo Cruz, it goes on and on and on. Like a deeply stupid and vicious game of telephone. This is part of the call-out playbook, which gets used over and over again when the internet picks their new target of the week. And I'm gonna break down how this usually goes. Creator says or does something that a lot of people have a negative reaction to. People on TikTok start talking about it, making videos about it, leaving comments about it, and then large drama farming creators will start making their response videos to said thing. The controversy migrates to Twitter, which fans the flames. Other creators will start adding on to the conversation with additional reasons why they don't like said person.
Again, the name of this channel is Stanzi with C.
Might even be because of a personal experience they've had with that person. And the original creator's comments and messages, etc. get flooded by an angry mob. Now, the original creator has 2, maybe 3 choices. Option 1 is defending themselves, which is often poorly received and can make the situation worse, so it's not the best option. Option 2 is ignoring it, depending on the severity of your controversy. When people realize they're not going to get what they want out of you, they'll eventually get bored and move on to the next victim on the chopping block, because there's always a new, fresh piece of meat that's much more enticing than last week's leftovers. And if they don't move on, it's probably because they're a weirdo that needs to be blocked. And that might offend some people, but if you're spending a significant amount of time harassing a stranger online, cyber stalking them, making alternative accounts to leave additional hate comments, you're a friendless, jobless loser that needs to go get their scripts refilled. Come on, kids, let's get medicated. Let's get medicated up in here. Ooh, here comes the train. Choo-choo. Yummy medicine. Ooh. Like, I saw a comment recently where someone was like, she's already blocked me on 4 accounts. 4 accounts? Get a hobby me, you gremlin! All that tells me is that you're lacking parental love. But it is genuinely weirdo behavior, so those people shouldn't be taken seriously anyway. Then there's option 3. The creator can make an apology video. They can apologize for whatever they said or did. Now, this might go over well, but it might not. It might actually make it a lot worse. These apology videos are often met with a lot of criticism, usually over the lack of sincerity in the video. Apology videos get made fun of a lot. They get turned into memes. Most notoriously, we have Colleen Ballinger's Toxic Gossip Train video, which, you know, was a choice, but the term ukulele apology now gets used every time a creator gets canceled. There's always at least one comment being like, I can't wait for the ukulele apology, where's the ukulele apology at? And I have seen some creators talk about this a little bit because I think a lot of people are getting tired of this aspect of accountability culture because it is a losing game. People will continuously demand a creator make an apology video, and then when they do make an apology video, it's not good enough or it gets mocked. So what is it that you actually want? Because you say that you want accountability, but then when they take accountability, it's not good enough because they're only doing this because they got called out. And like, yeah, you fucking dodo bird, of course they're only making the video because they got called out. They just had thousands of people demanding an apology from them. Are you that delusional that you think relentless harassment will lead to some moment of moral clarity and enlightenment? You're not Jesus reforming a sinner. You're a chronically online internet troll with way too much time on their hands. And people have started to recognize these patterns. They see that their apology will not be met with forgiveness. But if you're calling someone out and they're not given space to learn and grow, they're not going to take you seriously, which in my opinion does a lot more harm than good. Here's what I think people actually want. I think people want to feel powerful. They want to feel like they're doing something. And maybe people focus on niche internet discourse because they feel powerless and vulnerable in the face of some of the more significant issues that we face in our country and across the globe. Maybe you can't overthrow an oppressive government, but you can bully a random internet person into privating their account. Some people genuinely view their harassment as a form of justice. It's not bullying, it's holding someone accountable. Which is bullshit, by the way, and many people have already talked about this, about how you can't hold someone accountable that you're not in community with. Like, why would you think you could hold someone accountable when they don't know who the fuck you are? And a lot of people don't seem to know what accountability actually is. It isn't spamming someone's comment section, calling them names, sending them death threats, threatening to dox them, dogpiling on them. And I'm actually mutuals with a lot of creators that talk about a lot of this internet discourse. But they actually add something to the conversation by providing additional information, thoughtful criticism, different perspectives, which is good. It's thought-provoking. What are you adding to the conversation besides a pitchfork? And this is about viewers and creators alike, because a lot of these call-out creators are just drama farming because that is the foundation their account is built on. They need someone else to talk about in order for their account to thrive. It's actually profitable for them to latch on to the internet villain of the week. There's a TikTok creator named Christian Divine who made a really good video about this a while ago, so I'll show you a clip of that.
We're having an interesting moment on this app on the left, just in general, and there's something I kind of want to point out. When a big creator fucks up, it's like when a whale dies. When a whale dies, it sinks to the bottom of the ocean, and it becomes this entire ecosystem that thousands of creatures get to feed and sustain themselves off of. In the case of TikTok,
Fuck
that
you.
whale is
God,
the
baby,
reason
why?
for if you
Misty,
fuck up,
why?
you become that whale. They
Bruh.
will eat you alive the same way that you served up others on a plate to be eaten by that same audience.
I love the way he put this. The creator being canceled, aka the dead whale, becomes an ecosystem for various creatures, aka the other creators. But when you slip up, which you will, you're done. You're done because all you had was your moral superiority. You never offered anything else. And I think a lot of those channels start because of just that. You didn't have a hobby or a talent or an interest to talk about. You just started talking about other people and got hyped up for it and started gaining followers because of that. And you might have even been able to monetize it. It's also worth noting that some of these creators have ulterior motives because they already don't like the person that's being called out. For example, in Hassan's case, he immediately started getting called out by creators who already fucking hate him. Ethan Klein immediately hopped on that shit like he was Charlie finding the golden fucking ticket. Other streamers that Hassan has been critical of in the past jumped on it, including a lot of the liberal chorus content creators that were called out in the Taylor Lorenz Wired article. And regardless of how you feel about some of these creators, it's something you should be aware of. You shouldn't always take these accusations at face value. You should be critical because a lot of times there is some underlying bias. And look, if you want to bully someone, like, just bully someone, dude. I respect you way more if you're just a hater. Honest to God, dude. I'm from the Formspring era, okay? We told each other to kill ourselves all the time. Back in my day, you could tell anyone to kill themselves. Sometimes they would. You can just dislike something or someone for no reason at all. Isn't that freeing? Don't you feel lighter? I see this happen a lot in fandom and fan fiction spaces. Like, there's this thing happening called Kinktober, and I don't really know anything about it other than the discourse videos that I've seen about it. But from what I've gathered, it is full of a lot of people being like, I don't like this thing, I think it's wrong, it makes me uncomfortable, and if you like that thing, that makes you a morally bad person. And a lot of the people leaving comments like that are like 15-year-olds. I'm sorry, you're 15. You have no fucking place in a conversation about something called Kinktober. You're like a newborn baby. You're basically still an egg, okay? Go back to the kids' table, okay? Shoo. You don't need a moral reason to dislike something in order to justify disliking it. You don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America, where I can dislike anything I want for any reason at all. Oh, I didn't realize I was in communist China. Don't disguise it as social justice because, and this might be hard for you to hear, you're not making the world a better place. You're not going to cyberbully the world out of fascism by doing this. In fact, you're probably making it worse, especially when it comes to things like kink and sex culture, because while you might think that shaming sex workers and people in those 18+ communities is some form of social justice, it's actually just repackaged evangelical propaganda. This culture around accountability will often fail to do anything productive because it's full of bad actors. It's full of people who get off on the power trip they get when they're hyped up for a hate comment they left or a video that they've made. And I think this is relevant to a larger conversation about over-policing and the surveillance state. A lot of people who claim to want accountability actually want retribution. They don't want people to learn from their mistakes and do better. They want them to be banished from the public eye. I've seen 2 separate instances recently occurring at baseball games where some shitty baseball fan has stolen a ball or a hat from a kid, which is shitty, by the way. You shouldn't do that. Why are you stealing from children? But when these videos go viral, there are always people in the comments section who are trying to identify the shitty adult. And they do, and they then will start posting personal information about them, like their place of work, where they live, who they are, their social media accounts, their friends' social media accounts. And usually the goal here is to get that person fired from their job. And regardless of how shitty you think that person is, that is not normal behavior. We should not be encouraging others to dox strangers online and get them fired from their jobs. And it's the same thing with the Coldplay concert with the cheating couple, which the whole internet was joking about. I mean, me included. But then it turned into another instance of people trying to identify these individuals and get them fired from their jobs, which they were. And before I continue, look here. I acknowledge what they did was shitty, okay?
I don't condone cheating.
But the internet banding together to identify and dox strangers on the internet so they can get them fired from their jobs in this economy is